awesome sponsors. Steve Photopoulos, did I do that right? Big kudos to Steve. He donated his time and got us approved through the state, and we really appreciate that. And all the people that did gift baskets, all of our volunteers that sat here in the heat today and did the registration tables and solicited businesses for the past couple of months. We appreciate all of our volunteers. And Mike at Pheasant Ridge for putting up with all of our phone calls, text messages. I want to introduce our board of Ryan's Wings. Barb Thon is our secretary-treasurer, and she keeps us all in line. We have Mary Lou Kaplan, who lives in New Jersey, originally from Shaler, lives in New Jersey and drives back once a month just to help us coordinate stuff and does so much. And this is my son Randy. He's a board member, Ryan's Wings. And Jeff Lambert, who is our vice president of Ryan's Wings and did all of those great teamwork. We're seeing this one Alex did all the teamwork. This thing really awesome. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Plavetzky. I am Ryan's mom. I'm trying to get through this because I'm not a public speaker. One of my fears was speaking in public. So if I stumble, if I fumble, and if I get emotional, I'm going to try not to because this has been a very emotional day. I'm overwhelmed by all of this. But honestly, my biggest fear was always losing a child. And I think if you're a parent, you probably can relate to that. And unfortunately, 2 years ago today, we buried my son. I'm sorry. You're going to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. So I faced my biggest fear. I face it every day. It's still in our family. It's still an ongoing thing for us. But we're doing it. We're good. And you can't see the video, but we had such an awesome video made, but it's too light in here to see. Just to get an idea how cool Ryan was. He was so full of life. He was just, you knew you were going to laugh if he was in the room. That's just the way it was. He worked with me. We worked for Jeff, has a company in Gibsonia. Randy worked there too. My brother Scott works there as well. It's kind of our company, not Jeff's. But every day, at the end of every day, the highlight of my day was Ryan and Randy coming up to my office and just bantering. It was just chaos. A lot of times Scott would say, if you're done having your family reunion, can we get some work done? Because he would be like, come on, what is it? But every day, that was my highlight. That was my highlight of every day. I got to see my boys, even though they moved out.
And hear them complain.
Yeah, it's okay. I listen to the complaints too. I'm a mom. That's what you do. But that was my highlight of every day, and I took that all for granted. I just thought that would go on, and it ended. But how does somebody so full of life get involved with pills? And how do we, as the parents, we don't know this. We didn't see it. I saw him every day at work. I didn't see the signs. I guess maybe some of them I didn't want to see. So we started Ryan's Wings because we really think education and awareness is important. As a parent, you need to know what to look for. Like I said, I saw Ryan every day. I did not see the signs and I didn't know what to look for. We need to let parents and co-workers and friends and brothers and sisters, you need to know what to look for because it's not always obvious. And when I found out Ryan was doing pills, actually Randy would say, Mom, look at Ryan, how does he look today? I still didn't see the signs. He had to show me the signs. And I couldn't tell any of my friends. I was embarrassed. And I think the only people, I didn't even tell Steve right away, or Jeff right away. I told Mary Lou, because she had twin daughters that suffered from addiction, so I knew she wouldn't judge me. So I kept my secret with Mary Lou and Randy and me for the longest time. Finally, I told Steve and I told Jeff, and Jeff would check Ryan out during the day and just make sure he didn't see any signs or, you know. But when he died, I had to tell people he died of an overdose. Everybody was, why did you keep that to yourself? I was embarrassed. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want people judging us. I didn't want Ryan being judged, and I didn't want that to be what defined him, because he was so many things. I didn't want that. So I guess I had to start getting used to telling people. And it's funny, because after he died, of course, you know, social media, they all know how he died, even though I could never say it. I started getting private messages from people that I had known for a long time. I thought I knew, and they're telling me their stories, their husbands, their children, and with themselves, and how they're suffering with some kind of addiction. And I thought, my God, they're telling me this because I'm safe. They know I'm not going to judge them. I just buried my son, and they're not going to judge me. So you kind of feel safe with these people. Then I thought, you know, maybe Ryan's story needs to be told. Maybe we need to share his story and be able to talk about this and not keep this all inside. And so when Mary came up with the idea to start a nonprofit to help people with addiction, I said, yeah, I need to tell Ryan's story. I need to get it out there, because if it stops one person when they're at that crossroad from doing it or turning away from it, then it's worth me spilling my guts like I am today. So it's worth getting it out there. So that's two of the things we strive for at Ryan's Wings, is addiction and awareness. We raise the money. We're doing these fundraisers so that we can scholarship a person that cannot afford to get into a rehab center. They're expensive. They're looking for help, but they can't afford to do it. So we want to help somebody get into a rehab center, get into the right rehab center. We have some resources in Florida. You need to get into the right one. Just any old rehab may not work. And 30 days, 60, whatever, every individual is different. We want to help them with that. And once they get out of the rehab, they need support still. It's not you get out of rehab and you're healed. You still need ongoing support. So we want to support them, help them find employment. Where I work at Gasline, we're 3 for 3. We've already started this process. We had 2 kids that were friends with Ryan and Randy. The one kid started with pills, graduated to heroin, and went into rehab. We held his job for him. He had a job when he got out, and we kind of kept our thumb on him, and he's doing great, I'm happy to say. The other one actually stole from us, broke into our vending machine twice to steal money out of it, and would use the company gas card and fill up gas tanks of his friends for cash just to buy pills. So Jeff pretty much gave him the option. We're going to press charges or you're going to go into a rehab. We kept his job for him. He went into the rehab. He followed through with everything we told him to follow through with, and he's doing really well. He's actually engaged. And now the third one came to us. The third one came to us last fall. He was fresh out of rehab, and he came to be interviewed by my brother, and he came upstairs to my office asking for Scott, and I said, he's in the next office. And what's your name? And he gave me his name as he was walking into Scott's office, and I knew the name. I knew the name because this was the person that sold the pills to not only these other 2 people, but probably my son as well. So he's being interviewed. This is a little story. He's being interviewed by Scott, and I'm standing behind the kid going, we are not hiring this person. So my brother came into my office after the interview and said, what the hell was that all about, you know? I said, I know this kid. He is the pill supplier to your nephew, my son, and these other 2. We are not hiring him. And he said, it's kind of hypocritical coming from somebody that wants to start a nonprofit to help give people a second chance. And I said, you know what, you're right. I got to put my own feelings aside and things that have touched me personally, and everybody does deserve a second chance. You're right. We hired him. He came with a lot of baggage. He lets us know when his court hearings are and whatever he needs to do, and he's doing really well too. So we're really 3 for 3 with Ryan's Wings as far as employment goes. And I'm going to introduce you to Lisa Brandy. I don't know where she is. She's okay. And there she goes. We graduated high school together. Our paths never crossed in high school. She lost her daughter about a little over 5 years ago to overdose, and we have this tragic bond that yeah, we're there for each other, we get each other, and she came all the way from Florida to be here today and to speak a little bit about her nonprofit that she's doing amazing things in Florida. And before I let her talk, I just want to say one thing. You see all over Facebook and everybody talks, tomorrow's not promised. And you know what? It's not. I was at a Pirate game with my mom and my brother and July 3rd. Ryan, I think it was my mom's birthday gift or something we bought too. She's a big Pirate fan. Went to the Pirate game. And I saw Ryan there, and we had fun, and the next day I found out, it's stupid. He was breaking up with his girlfriend, who I really came to love, and her little boy, I came to love him, and he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me he was breaking up with her, and I thought, I was with you all night. I was mad at him. I didn't even call him on the 4th of July. The 5th of July came, he knew I was mad at him. He didn't call me. You don't call Mom when she's mad. We didn't speak to each other. And the next time I saw him, he was gone. It was July 6th. I was called to his house, and by the time I got there, he was gone. So tomorrow's not promised. Don't squabble over the stupid little things, because is it worth it tomorrow if that person's not there? So that's what I have to say, and here's Lisa.